Alright guys, I'm back out here this weekend to show you some of the updates behind the chest rig I've made and some of the changes I made and why I made them, and show you some of the features that this chest rig has. Starting off with the different magazines it's capable with. I built this in mind with 7.62. Here I have the flap closed with a 7.62 pouch, a Magpul or polymer style magazine here, a Croatian standard metal magazine, and then down here on this side I have a 5.45 magazine. You can see it's a little bit harder to pull out due to its size difference with 7.62, but it still fits and it's easy to re-index. My future plans with this chest rig is to make these pouches just a little bit shorter with longer flaps possibly, or maybe have something here where it comes up, you know. That way it's easy to grab these mags, but they're still retained very well. But if you decide to use smaller mags like 5.45 or maybe possibly an AR or some other weapon system, that they're not completely swallowed. That way this chest rig is more versatile for different firearms. One of the first changes you probably notice is the pouch right here. This was the radio pouch that was put back on this side. It was catching on the strap of my backpack. I really didn't like that, so I moved it up here out of the way, and I'm pretty happy where this is at. I might change the pouch itself, how it holds the radio, but where it's at I like a lot, and I want to add some additional Velcro to help retain my mic. But I also might change where I have the mic positioned at, depending on future straps and prototypes. One of the other changes you might notice is I moved the grenade pouches that were originally on the front to the sides here. They did sit down in the front and they were digging into my hips when I was crawling around or doing anything, so I decided to move them to the side here. And I moved the extra general purpose pouch I had originally and converted it to a canteen pouch. I figured out how I wanted to do it, but with something special with this pouch is you can take this off, tuck it out of the way, pull your canteen out, and the original flap that I had with this pouch is still there, so you don't have to carry a canteen. You can put smoke grenades, extra equipment, a balaclava, which is whatever fits in the pouch and you want to keep in there, you can. That way this pouch is kind of multi-purpose and isn't strictly there. Coming around to the back, I added an additional strap in here towards the mid-back. That way when the chest rig sags in the front, because of the 4 magazine cells it wants to fold forward, this being there on your mid-back helps keep it tight against your body, but it doesn't interfere when you're bending over, climbing, and all that. Obviously we still have the same back strap in the back, it's just not clipped because waist size difference. I have my carabiner back here, and you can see one of my crucial mistakes back here. I had cut this one wrong and it sits too short, but even being like this, when I wear it they line up nicely and it doesn't really cause any discomfort, but this is one of my mistakes I made with the chest rig. Coming to now, you can see I moved my IFAK pouch. Originally it sat up here. I just moved it down to where it was flush with the bottom. That way I had a little bit more space in my armpit and it wasn't right down in there, and I can get to the contents a little bit easier. You can see I have my tourniquet just sitting on top with a little gauze pouch, and I keep my scissors, chest seals, and my normal IFAK with the insert there. I just set this on top, Velcro it down nice and tight, and that's not going anywhere. So that is all the major changes I did to this chest rig. Obviously you still have access to the map pouch down in here, and you can carry the 4 magazine cells, but this is more closely to what I wanted originally, and it definitely has taken different shape over the past couple months, especially since I have finished it and redone a lot of the pouches. I do think this configuration is a little bit more streamlined and better than what I originally had, because I can carry more contents on the rig itself in a more organized fashion, and it's a lot more comfortable to wear. Hopefully in the future I can come up with more prototypes that have more modularity and more variety with different rifles, and it's not dedicated to the 7.62, but I wanted something for myself that was very slim, as you can see. It doesn't take up a lot of space and hang off your body, but only carried the 4 magazine cells in the front. That way I could have a flat front for when I go prone, but I can still carry a decent amount of rifle magazines. Not that there is a huge difference between having 3 or 4 on the front and having only 3 on the front. It would free up a lot more real estate for other things, but I really like having the 4 up front. That's just kind of where my train of thought has gone recently, because I've used a lot of different chest rigs, Chi-Coms, pattern 83s. I've used a lot of different surplus with modular pouches, and I just haven't really liked the way the AK magazine fits in a lot of those. And only having 3 up front or double stacked magazines wasn't preferable either. It just wasn't comfortable to me. So that being said, this is where I'm at, and there's definitely going to be future updates. And again, if any of you guys have suggestions or ideas, feel free to leave a comment or however you want to do it. Hopefully here in the near future I can get a better sewing machine, more material, and start experimenting more, coming up with different ideas. I do have an idea for a battle jacket, kind of battle vest style chest rig, where the straps, however I do it with an X or H, there's a bag that clips onto the back here. It doesn't interfere with any of this, but almost like a small duffel bag, you can clip onto the shoulders and down at the waist with quick pull-away tabs. That way if you want to drop it, you can, but you don't have to have a backpack with extra straps taking up a lot more space, hindering, movement, and causing these irritation areas, where you can just clip it right to here and it'll help balance the weight of the chest rig. Almost similar to the pattern 83, how it has its backpack on the battle jacket, but this one would be able to be taken off without having to take off the chest rig. I know that's kind of a hard concept to be successful with, but I'm going to experiment with that. If I'm unsuccessful with that, I'm going to do something similar, but do a split front chest rig, where you have a buckle here and down there with the same style backpack and similar pouch configuration, but you can take it off like a vest, so it's easier to get to that backpack and you're not having to fight to get out of the chest rig, and it's a big hassle. Alright guys, sorry for the awkward cut. I was rambling and I didn't want to keep it in the video. Hopefully I can come out with some future content about different things other than working on this chest rig. I am looking into buying a couple more firearms and testing out that and making videos on those, and possibly doing some other video ideas. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to see you soon.